Hi crypto kings and queens, we are looking at Bitcoin on the weekly chart. Even if it is 5 days left of this weekly candlestick, a lot of things can happen, but what we can identify is that we do have this W formation, and with a W formation or a W pattern, what we usually expect is that the market will break the neckline, see retest continuation. But as we also can see on this picture is that if we're seeing the market breaking below the neckline, we can continue back down. So this is very, very important when we're looking at Bitcoin at the moment, because even if we see huge momentum, what we need to do is that we need to see how the market is obviously behaving around potentially the neckline between 43k and 43,700. If we're also dragging this box up, we do have this previous lower low on the weekly chart, and that is 45,800 and 46,500. If the market now break these levels and see a clear breakout retest, the next target that I can see Bitcoin coming to is 51,000 or potentially 51,800. Right now at the moment, we want to see if we're actually breaking these levels, see the retest, and at that point we're looking at next target. But if we are seeing that Bitcoin is failing breaking these levels, you see the market breaking below again, you see the retest from below, that could take us back down to the support around 37,000k or 36,000k. If we're doing a full analyze on Cardano, we can see the market is obviously in a downtrend. So we're taking this resistance trend line, and the market was below this resistance trend line and created lower lows and lower highs until the market actually broke the resistance trend line, which is telling us that we are in a downtrend, because as long as we're below it, we are in a downtrend. Going to the 4-hourly chart, we can see when the market did break it, you could see market creating higher highs and higher lows, because that is the beginning of a uptrend. We broke the resistance trend line, we started to create higher highs and higher lows. We did break it, so what we're doing is that we're taking a Fibonacci from the last low below the resistance trend line around 0.8437 to the new higher high that we do have around 0.9677. So because we can see the market is potentially starting to create a small uptrend, what I want to wait for to see is the market to create another higher low, because in a uptrend, we are buying at a higher low. With the help of the Fibonacci on the 4-hourly chart, what we can expect the market to do if we see some momentum to the downside, I would look at 0.9054 and potentially 0.8918 to see if we're coming back down to these levels to create another higher low. And if we see that we're having bullish rejections around these levels, targets that I'm having based on the same Fibonacci is 0.9972, 1.0620, and 1.1177. Based on this small 4-hourly chart that I'm having, with the use of the trend line on the higher time frames, we saw the break of structure. What we're expecting the market to do at the moment is to create a higher low and then hit the targets that I'm having on this Fibonacci. This is what I'm looking at right now. But if we're looking at the higher perspective, the last lower high we're having on the daily chart is this high that we do have around 1.1104. We can also drag a box here, because from this candlestick right here that we saw on 16th February was actually from this candlestick we saw the push to the downside. And also see that the Fibonacci is combined with these levels. So if we're hitting all of these levels and then see the market reverse back down a little bit, we're having a supply candle, which also tells us that the market can potentially continue back down, because that is a level where we can see rejections from. But this is short term that I see on Cardano. So if we see the market coming back down to this, creates a higher low, I'm using the same take profits on the same Fibonacci, and when if we're coming to the levels around 1.0818 and 1.1126, I want to see if we are starting to see more momentum to the downside, or if we're actually breaking the level, a potential higher low being created and continuation to the upside.